Caution. This podcast is designed for mature audiences. We delve into topics surrounding sexuality and intimate relationships in a candid and open manner. Please note that we are not licensed marriage or sex therapists, and the content shared here is intended solely for entertainment and informational purposes. If you are under 18 years old or prefer not to engage in explicit discussions about sex, relationships, or mature language, we advise against proceeding further. However, if you're of legal age and comfortable with such content, feel free to settle in, grab a beverage, and enjoy this episode. Just remember, time flies when you're having fun. Oh, and the stories you are about to hear are true. The names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Welcome to Beyond Monogamy, where every episode is a journey of discovery, liberation, and endless possibility. Join your hosts Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine as they peel back the layers of convention, inviting you into a world where passion knows no boundaries. Beyond Monogamy, a podcast that transcends the traditional norms of relationships to uncover the raw, unfiltered stories about the lifestyle. And now, your hosts, Roger Johnson and Janet Valentine.
Oh, so instead of being the swingers out on the porch, I think it's going to be the swingers party inside the house. We have enough guests coming in for the flies on the wall. Let's get it started. Welcome to Beyond Monogamy, the podcast. I'm Janet Valentine.
I'm Roger Johnson.
I'm Barb, Triple E.
And I'm Steve.
And we have two special guests. Okay. Elle she sneaks in every once in a while. She's like D. She sneaks in every once in a while. If you listen to the first season she came in, Elle is here. Remember, her and Steve are hooked together. They're married. And then our best special guest. This is new format for us. We have never had this happen. We have our outstanding bluefish because we've been handling so many bluefish questions. Remember, bluefish is a single male who's playing. They're called bluefish because there's lots of bluefish in the sea. But our favorite one, his origins, we've called him Beaux before, but I believe he's advanced because he's doing this. We're going to change his name to Beauregard. So Beauregard joins us for the podcast. Say hello, Beaux.
Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure being amongst, almost friends turned family at this point, right? It's been so long. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so the way the format's going to go, we're going to stick to our standard format. We typically do season 2. We'll pick music that you should be playing while you're playing around, or news story, or word, vocabulary word that people won't know. So we're going to hit those 3. And then once those 3 happen and we get into that, then I believe we're going to try to help answer some of the questions we've been answering over the past couple of podcast episodes about bluefish. And that's why we brought the expert in. Anybody got, I know, Steve, you got a word. You want to hit me with the word?
I have a word. Moped.
Moped. Is that a short, fat little dick?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I know what that means in a college town.
A moped. Are you ready for this?
I'm in a college.
A moped is a person of the opposite sex who is not attractive, but you like to have sex with them. She's a moped. She's fun to ride, but I wouldn't want any of my friends to see me on her.
Oh. Well,
Right.
You know what? That can go both ways.
That 100.
Yes, it
Yeah,
can.
That can go both ways.
Yeah.
I've experienced that several times.
So
Yeah.
in my
Sometimes it's a lot
entire
of fun.
life, every time that term has surfaced, it's never been said that it can go both ways. And I feel it's appropriate that I say I've never thought of it, and now that I am, I don't think I give a shit. I'm winning either way. You're doing it 'cause you like doing me. If you don't want anybody to see, you're still doing me because you like it.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it.
Tell me I'm wrong here. Tell me I'm missed here.
Would I go to, would I take this person out to dinner? or all right, well,
Right.
that's not a good analogy because I probably would. I don't care who you are, but you got to think, there are some people yeah.
Yeah, there are some guys that'll come to a party and they are definitely going for the lookers. Okay, they're going to go for that very few of us have knot rolls and no pimples and look hot, and so there's the very hot chick and they're going to go for the lookers, and if they're doing that, they're not going to get invited back to the party again because they're idiots. Okay, because if you're going to skip somebody because of what they look like on the outside, and if you don't give them a chance, you're gonna. So, and I think part of it too also is some of the guys that come to the parties, they will assume that because you were a woman and you are at the party, and that means that they have the right to fuck you. They don't have to ask.
Yeah, you're there because you want to fuck everybody. Yeah.
You're that woman that's so desperate or whatever that you're here, and so you're gonna fuck everybody, and so they will walk around the party like it's your duty to fuck them. Okay, and so we typically at our parties we weeded them out, but at a bigger party, especially if you go to one of the big events where you've paid for the ticket to go to the thing or whatever, you will have the pretty people. We call them sparkle ponies. You'll have the sparkle ponies that are all dressed up and they're going to spend all night dancing with each other and don't fuck at all. Okay. I'd rather be the moped. Sorry. I'd rather be the moped.
I think mopeds attract.
Yeah, that's right. Mopeds attract. Any songs we want to talk about?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
It's Teddy Swims again, and a guy, Givian. Are you even real? Are you even real? I highly recommend it. It's excellent. It's a current song.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
You got to keep me current because, I got to keep current on the fuck music. And then the last one real quick.
Oh, wait. So, we have another.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. I have one, and I really like this artist. As I've said, I have about 200 songs on 3 playlists for our parties. But this one is called Right Round by Flo Rida. And what's so great about it is in the lyrics, it was just spinning my heart around, and when you go down, I'm going, oh, I like that. And then get dirty all night. That's part of my plan. And this is, I'm in a daze. That bottom is waving at me. I'm going, oh, baby, you wave a bottom at me and look out. I'm down.
He's a bottom guy.
I'm a bottom guy.
So, Beauregard, you got a song you like to fuck to?
So recently, I came across. I have a playlist actually. I have a whole playlist that I'm always adding to, and it's of different cases. Like you might listen to it, and it's like, okay, I could tap 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 tap. Okay, wait, I can actually right. It's a little party, and then it goes all the way down to the most sensual, holy shit, you're fucking my soul song. So this is a fuck the soul kind of song. And this one, it's not new. It's Would You Mind by Janet Jackson. And the song itself, she's whispering through her orgasm the entire song. And it's Janet, and she's talking about would you like she's almost asking for permission while moaning. I mean, and at one point at the end of the song, she goes, "Wait, but did you come? No, I'm not done yet." I mean, it is. It is an adventure. I mean, I remember playing the song, and the reason why I added it was I had played this song. I had a date, and I had played this song, and honestly, I didn't think anything was going to happen. This was a fairly actually vanilla date, and the song got her in the mood. So after this is like you know what? I'm adding this. This works. You can put this right here on this playlist. So yeah, that is
What's the title of the song again?
It is called Would You Mind? Would You Mind by Janet Jackson. It is
Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah. And that's the era. We're talking about the nasty era.
Yeah.
So this is not a new song. It's very good.
So I think it's kind of funny that what you say is not a new song. It's a mid new song for me. I'm so old. Okay. Like my kids think my kids think that, they're the ones that came up with the hidden messages and stuff. Because like one of mine, I distinctly remember getting in trouble in high school when my father figured out the line in Brown Sugar was, she told me to come and I yelled I was already there. That was in Brown Sugar. So that's how far back I go. So they get
Yeah. Or I love her peaches want to shake her tree.
Shake her tree. Like, yeah. That's good. I always think of the peaches. I think of you, Barbie, when I love peaches want to shake her tree. Because I have vivid memories of you standing there and shaking those boobs.
Yeah. Because that was Steve Miller Band was who I lost my virginity to. So long-standing fan.
So let's see, quick news stories. I have 2 quick news stories. If you don't have any, there is a huge one that we are going to table because it's too big for it now. That's that NSA transgender. Let's talk about the fact that it feels good when I pee type stuff. That one, that's too big of a story for us to touch right now. That's what we mean by news stories. But I do have two baby news stories that are easy. Okay. The one is, that you've had a shitty week. If you've had a shitty week, just remember that at least you didn't go on the BBC News with your dildo on your bookshelf. This woman, Yvette, she is on BBC News being interviewed, and in the background is a big ass dildo that is just sitting like as a bookmark.
Bigger than life, guys. I've seen the picture. Unbelievable.
Right. Okay.
That's fantastic.
So that's one. And then the other one, I was searching. I couldn't stop laughing because this is the one part when I wish that we were actually video, because we got to stay anonymous so we don't do it. But the video, because you need to see the picture of this. The story says, wife whacks husband in the head with her 18-inch dildo Godzilla. Both have been arrested after the altercation, and there's a picture of the guy with this big old welt on his head, like the skull is popping out on half the side. I want to see what Godzilla looks like.
Yeah, I do too. I was going to say, do they have a picture of Godzilla? Do they have a picture of it? I want to see the weapon.
That's a sword. That's literally a sword. That's literally a sword.
Okay, so my question is, have you ever seen anybody fucked with that? Okay, I know it's a big dick. It's 18-inch. Does that woman really fuck the 18-inch dildo? Does she really?
Unless it's double-sided.
I swear, L. Okay, I've seen L take a dick. I've seen L take a dick pretty big. Okay, but it's a real dick. It's a little bit different than a plastic one. What's the biggest size dildo do you have, L?
Really not very big.
Right.
Probably like 8 inches.
But not very big to you or to the rest of us.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Not big. Anyway. So let's go to one of the reasons why we wanted to ask you here, Beaux, is because we've had over the last couple of weeks, someone has written in and asked the question about she cannot, the wife cannot play anymore. She is sex just doesn't happen. It's a medical reason. So sex doesn't happen. Her husband is interested in getting into and being invited to parties, the lifestyle, and he wants to become a bluefish. So he has asked the question, how do I do this? And we've spent a couple episodes talking about what to put in your profile and some other stuff. But I've never heard your story about how did you get into this, Beaux? How did you meet us?
Okay. Well, okay. That's a so also just to let you know, Steve, you are on mute. I don't know if you know that. You got a mute icon by it, just as a heads up. Do we want because this is a twofold story. Because are we asking how did I get into the lifestyle overall? Or because then that also then impacts kind of sort of how I got into the lifestyle where we all met, right?
Yes.
So
I
so
want
that's
both.
truthful. Okay. This is going to be a wild story.
Okay.
So I'm in college. I am at university, right? I'm probably about well, am I able to tell ages, or are we still
Sure.
referring? Okay, I was like,
You're
at the time I was probably, I don't know, maybe 20, I think, at the time. And Craigslist was still an active site for personal encounters, right? Casual encounters. Now, I
Yeah.
didn't have an issue meeting women on campus. It wasn't like I was very active in high school and in college. It just I wanted something new. I was bored. I was and also less bullshit because I this is the time where Tinder first started coming to the scene and online dating at least became more of a mobile app versus like I know there's like adult friend finder and plenty of fish, but that was a little too much at the time, right? For me at least. So I'm looking through the casual encounters and I just happened to go to they had like the kind of the group section where it's like the you can do like male female for male or female for male 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 male. And I just was like, what is this? Like I was not understanding. I click on the link, it has all the listings, and there was a social justice gangbang group. Okay. All right. Yes, as insane as it sounds, a social justice gangbang group, right? And so this was at the time, of course, I think this was I forget what this was like probably around the times of like Black Lives Matter was like forming like catching steam across the nation and whatnot. And so there were a lot of protests going on at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going, wait, I don't understand. You protest during the day and then you fuck at night. I just didn't see. I couldn't see the connection, but I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to apply anyway." So here I
Okay.
am on my college laptop. I send like a photo. I answer these questions, and then I'm supposed to. Someone reaches out to me, and they had a vetting process, and so at the time, I end up having to be interviewed at this guy's, um, I guess, office in the city to be able to be vetted. So I show up, and this office is in Lower Five Manhattan. Okay. Now
Okay.
I'm a college kid. This is uncharted territory. I have no business in FIDI, realistically. So here I am. I show up. I take this elevator, and this guy's office. When he opens the door, one, not who I expected. This guy almost looked like he looks like a redheaded Flintstone. It was weird, very, very. And again, listen, the lifestyle welcomes all shapes and sizes. I just not who I expected to open the door. And his office, he has these beautiful windows and it faces out to like Lower Manhattan. And he has this big old TV screen. And he says, "Hi, my name is Doug." And I'm like, "Okay, Doug, this is weird. I'm checking I'm looking for cameras." Because mind at the time, this was not too long after like Craigslist killer. So I don't know what the fuck is waiting for me behind this door. I'm just like, my horniness is really about to get me fucking killed. And, like, what am I doing? So I walk through, I am, I walk through and I am like very suspicious of everything going on. And so we're sitting there, we're talking, everything's fine. And then he turns the TV on, and there is this massive gangbang going on the TV. It is a porn though, not a lifestyle club game, just an actual just porn. I think it was like maybe like 5 to 7 black guys and this one poor white girl just getting drilled on the screen, right? And he goes, "Well, do you like this?" And I go, I mean, if it came into my queue, if I came to my spank bank, yeah, sure, but I'm not, that wasn't the type of porn I was watching then, right?" And he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna ask you some weird questions. One, I need to see your dick. Now, I need you to understand, right?" Okay, exactly. I need you to understand. The most naked outside of maybe playing for a team in a lot and being in the locker room, or when or just being anywhere, that was probably my most exposure to being naked around other people. If we weren't, especially if we weren't sleeping with each other, right? So I
That's
am.
a cold naked. That is not a fun naked. That's a let's
Oh,
examine my dick naked.
and mind you, the crazy part about it,
puckered up there, come on, dude.
it's also January, right? So it's
Oh
not
shit.
even like I had the heat
shrinkage,
on my
shrinkage,
side.
Shrinkage.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm sizing him
Showing
up
it
and I'm
to,
like,
I
I
don't
could,
know, man.
I'm looking, I'm like, listen, if I need to, I think I could take this guy. Like I can't, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the distance between him and the door, trying to figure this out. And he ends up, like again, he's like, listen, I know it's a weird question, but we kind of like to vet based off of sizes and make sure that we have a minimum standard because of the women that we like to serve, I would say, right? And so, okay, so I pull it out and I'm soft as shit. Not gonna lie to you. Also, I'm nervous. What the hell? I've never. And he's like, okay, well, thank you for doing that. I need you to get hard. Oh my God. So I'm going, my pants are already down at my ankles. And I'm like, well, there's no point in pulling my fucking pants up because, he won. I'm at this point, I'm like, listen, I said, in my head, my mother always said two things are going to kill me, food and sex. I'm like, this is the sex part. This is where this is it right here.
Exactly.
And so I end up like I focus on the porn, I start beating off and I get hard. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, all right, well, welcome to the group. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm happy to see what you have here. Send an email to this group, blah, 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 blah. And you test. We'll let you know when you have a lady of the hour. That's when we knew there was a lady who wanted to be gangbanged, right? And so here I am. I on of all days, Martin Luther King Day too. I end up going to there ends up having to be a lady of the hour who specifically wanted just a group of black men, and she also happened to be white. And I was just like, I mean, what? I'm okay. Yeah, sure. On of all days, you know what? I'm all for it. This is a great way to celebrate the
You're a
holiday.
giving man. He's a
That's
giving
right.
man on Martin
Listen,
Luther King's
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So I end up showing up to this loft, and I get to the elevator, and the lights give me like these I don't even know what to call it, like a Prince, that fuchsia kind of pink kind of
right.
lighting. It just made me think of Prince. And so it's in the elevator. The doorman presses a button and turns a key. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Takes me up to this floor. I open out to a club. Now I just hear music and I'm like, okay, this is like a pretty private club, but where is this gangbang going to happen? So it's, I walk, the host greets me and I walk in one direction and walk past these like drapes. And to my left is this little room, and this lady is getting her brains fucked. And that's not even the lady who is attending. I mean, the lady of the hour. This lady has a dick in her ass, a dick in her pussy, one in each hand, and one in her mouth. And it's almost like Tybo for her. She's going, and I'm just like, this is real. This. I thought I only saw this on in porn
That's
or
right.
food or whatever. And so um the lady of the hour, she comes out and she's in this fishnet dress with these like the stripper pleaser heels, and I am immediately turned on. But again, I'm like, okay, is this a one-on-one like situation or how do we do this? And she goes, all right, boys, let's go. And I go, all of us like at the same time? And yeah. So I'm in my head because I'm like looking at what size this guy has or whatnot. And I'm struggling to put the condom on. And she goes, oh, baby, you're new. She had this like Southern drawl too. She said, oh, baby, she's from Alabama. Oh, baby, you new? Don't worry. I'll take care of you. You're going to remember me for the rest of your life. And let's look, we are 12 years later, and I still remember when I tell you I came so quick. And she loved it. She took my lifestyle cherry, and so I kept in touch with the hosts, and they would have me. The theme, it was a club, and they would have themed nights. I went to a university 60 miles from the club, and I would drive. I would take exams, I would finish homework, and I would drive 60 miles. He would be like, they'd be like, Beau, it's MILF Monday. I know I got a few coming in. I need you. And I am like, yes, sir. I'm ready. I'm coming. And so that's
I was born for this.
Exactly.
It went from that to then I just couldn't understand. I mean, I knew it was this secret, I guess, lifestyle of society, but I didn't understand. I was like, how are you meeting these people? Like, how are people actually getting into this? And then eventually it went from knowing just them as the outlet to then I believe I went on one of the sites. I forget if it was FetLife or SLS, and I had met a lady there, and she then were bringing me to parties, and then I wondered, where are you getting these listings from? Like, how do you know? So then she put me on SLS, and then
yeah.
So did you created your own profile on SLS?
Yes.
Okay.
And so then now how that translates to, so then, within a couple years, I am comfortable. I'm meeting people. I'm going to hotel parties. I am eager. I am reaching out to, couples and single and trying to keep some sort of etiquette without being thirsty, of course, because this is all new to me because I'm like, you mean to tell me the folks on this site want the same thing, or at least most of, or have the kind of same mindset that I do, like with less bullshit? Like really? And so I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. Then I end up having to move to
where we all were.
Away
from home,
Manhattan.
away from Manhattan. And I go, oh shit, I don't even know, like, is this going to even continue? Like, am I going to have to fly back home regularly to be able to even continue this?
Right.
To me, I'm saying it's only going to be a treat for me when I fly back home. I had no fucking idea, obviously, as we learned. I had no idea waiting for me, right? And so what made it even more interesting is SLS was fairly dead in that area. Like, it wasn't the preferred site, right? And so I had one friend tell me, hey, you need to get on C4P.
Right.
Didn't heed his advice yet. I think I went to this one. Are we able to name club names? Or am I?
Yeah. We name club names and go ahead.
So I end up one night, because I'm thinking I'm not so much desperate, but I'm curious. All I have is Google. I don't know any better, right? And Google tells me, hey, there's this place called The Spot. Now, I know nobody. This is within the first week of me being in this new city where I only maybe know a couple coworkers and maybe a family member. And I show up to this club and I know nobody, right? And so it's a different environment. Clubs can be fairly cliquish, and I'm this, young cat with my glasses, and I'm much thinner than I was, then. And so I'm just looking like this I don't even incapable young scrawny kid in the corner that no one knows that I've probably at least at this point had a few years experience in the lifestyle at this point. But I'm trying to figure out, nothing happened that night. Really, it was just me dancing, having a drink, smiling at people, right? Hoping that the smile would maybe invite some sort of conversation. But people were just walking past me, no issue. I get on C4P. And very quickly, I mean, I don't have any, I know that the site sometimes certifications, help people validate, that you are a real person and that you provide, you are bringing an experience. And so it was a birthday post. Someone was hosting their friends. This couple was hosting another couple. And the husband wanted a birthday gangbang for his wife. And on this beautiful home in the city. And I reached out to them, and they weren't replying back to me. And I continued to reach out. And finally they said, yes, okay, we have space for one more. Come on. So I show up and I am like, okay, this is my speed. This is, and which also it spoiled me, but we'll get to that at some point. But so I end up showing up to this party, and on the table is this lovely wife, and I am instantly, I'm up and we're, rotating, having a good time. And the host's wife was so turned on, and she's like, you know what, I'm joining, fuck it, why not? And so at this time, Elle is there with Steve, right? And Elle disappears. I don't know. And I am also trying to get to another party that night. Right. And so I'm thinking this was going to be quick, and I'm saying goodbye to everyone, and I go upstairs.
Hey, this is a great time for a break.
Fellas, are you tired of the same old experience? Need to spice things up? Introducing Dick Dippers, the revolutionary way to bring flavor to your love life.
Oh, baby.
That's right. Just dip it. Dunk it or drizzle it in one of our mouth-watering flavors, like strawberry daiquiri for a tropical twist, pina colada for that classic sweetness, or go all in with hot fudge sundae, because who doesn't love a little extra drizzle with nuts? Made with 100% edible, body-safe ingredients, Dick Dippers are smooth, tasty, and guaranteed to make every moment delicious.
Now that's a treat I can't resist.
So why be boring when you can be dipping? Get Dick Dippers today. Available wherever fine personal products are sold. Not responsible for excessive licking, mowing, or sudden craving for sweets. Use as directed. Satisfaction highly likely.
Now, back to the fun part of the podcast.
And Elle presented very shy, and I'm thinking it's Elle's first time or whatnot. And
she's so sneaky.
She's so go upstairs, and Elle is getting not sexed, fucked. Like, because I'm hearing these sounds coming from a bedroom, and I look, and I just happen to pass by, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. And now me and Elle lock eyes, and it's like, well, I guess, well, I can one more time before, I'm undressing. Right before I was showered and everything. I'm like, I guess one more time. So now that's where Elle and Steve, that's where we meet. And then I went off to this party, and the rest is history. And boom, that's where all the webs begin. And voila, here we are. So I know that was a long-winded story. I apologize, but that I had to try to connect the two. So.
That was awesome.
Fantastic. You know how many young men wish they were you? All of them.
Yeah, I
all of them.
I am honored. I try to.
But you took a risk. You took a huge risk, and I really think that, even though it's scary as hell, and I don't recommend it, but I do think throughout my life, I have the most memories when I just said, "I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I want to do this. I'm fucking doing it." And then you question it and you go, what the fuck am I doing?
So, because my memories of Beaux is Elle coming and going, I don't even think I did you at the party. Okay. It was Elle. She's like, hey, did you do this guy? Did you do Beauregard? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, oh, this. I go, oh, that was, you mean that little guy that was over there? And she's like, and keep in mind, Fabio's not a real tall guy either. Okay. But when I just say, I was just characterizing it, I was like, and she's like, oh, you missed it. And so we do these party recaps. Like you do a party review when you're going home with your spouse. Okay. You do a party review. But sometimes when you linger at the end of the party and people have gone and then it's just a few people who are helping clean up, it's a, hey, did you get a chance to do XYZ? And then she was like, okay, next party, you are doing this guy. Okay. It's just like, you were going to have to do this guy. And then,
right.
and then we just passed him around. Okay. Every time we had a party, we would pass him around to, you guys all have to try this one.
Oh yeah.
And so it's very interesting you say that. And I don't know if it was the second party or the first, because I may be mixing memories here, but I do very well remember it was my first time attending one of your parties, and I loved it because, one, compared to the club experiences, the party started at 6 p.m. God, I love that. It was like, 6 p.m. And mind you, I was double dipping often, and not something going to like different parties, but I would have my lifestyle time, and then I would then go and do my vanilla, wherever bar scene.
Take her out on a date, bar scene,
And so it was tough because of course the location we were at closes early, right? So it's at 2 a.m. everything's done, right? And so it was perfect because it started at 6, and you lived within 6 minutes from where I live.
I'm a city girl, that's for sure. I'm not on the farm.
And so I show up, and mind you, I was a little late, right? I didn't know the etiquette at that, like your party etiquette at that time. And I remember you would have like after introducing everybody, you'd have a board where people would put their kinks or their fetishes and their just like, so I missed that part, right? And so I show up, I have no background. right? I don't know what's been said. I don't know who's there. I just show up, and the and I finally get there. I see Elle, and the first person to grab me immediately, this memory is seared into my brain. I walk through your front door. I put my bag down, and I meet Barbie. And Barbie goes, and Barbie's like, don't get comfortable. Let's go. And I
Let's
literally,
go.
I put my bag down, picked it up, went straight upstairs, and it was like I was a rotisserie chicken. I was getting rotated because it was like Barbie's
It
on
was
top.
awesome.
Barbie's like, Janet, and Janet's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just I'm not. And
Uh-huh.
it was the pleasantries happened after the pleasantries. That
Right.
was right. It was just like, oh shit. Like, oh, you aren't joking.
We
And
are here
this is
to
obviously
rock.
mid screams, mid orgasms, mid squirts, and it
Right.
phenomenal time. Phenomenal,
It
phenomenal.
was fantastic. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That happened at a couple of her parties. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
If they came kind of late and I'd had a few beers, then it was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
let's go. You're cute. Let's go.
party time. Oh man.
Yeah. Let's
I,
do it. Yeah.
I think even the guys listening who are in the lifestyle would still wish that they were you and kind of envy you. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, I was mid to late 30s when I got in. So
Yeah.
you put me early 20s. I mean, I was just my first thought is like back then, like I couldn't jerk off enough.
Right.
Like I probably have shoulder problems to this day for the amount that I jerked off back then.
If you would have had an outlet, you're right.
That's
If
my
you would
thought.
have
Yeah, if
just
I
had
had
an
an
outlet.
outlet, oh man.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
It makes a big difference.
there's my 2 cents.
That's
So
fantastic.
um we did get some listener mail. Uh
Mail,
M
motherfucker.
Right. Mail motherfucker section. We can do that. The listener mail came in and this person, she said that she really enjoyed she enjoys the podcast. Her name is M. And she said, I enjoy the podcast. Let me see if I can read it to you exactly.
I was
Sorry,
listening
I
to it
should
right
be
before we started. Go ahead though.
I should be more prepared. So I'm trying to find it. Her basic question. She had two questions. She said, her name is M. She said she loves the podcast, loves the stories, but she wanted to know, one, do we use condoms when we play? Um, and then two, she wanted to know, she's still in season one. She's listening to season one. So I told her, I promised her I would get her what this episode is when we answer this. So I know that we talked about condoms a little bit in season one. So she wants to know if we use condoms. And then the second question that she had is, how do you prepare for a party? And I know we've done a little bit of prepare, but I think it's always good to come back to that because everybody prepares in their own different ways. So Beaux, do you how do you handle the condoms thing? Or how would you answer her questions? How do you prepare
Um,
for parties? And then do you use condoms?
so I'm probably going to answer this question in reverse. Yes, I do. I do. Like, let me say this much. How I overall like prepare lifestyle wise, I maintain appropriate sexual health in the sense of because of how active we can be, it could be ebbs and flows, right? I make sure I also get tested every 3 months. That's just out of practice, just because, just to just maintain a clean bill of health. And then and if something were to pop, obviously communicate that to your partners, what have you, but just to be responsible because I mean, if depending on how involved you are, I mean, you're most likely having much more sex than the average human, and so it's just good practice just to maintain that health. That being said, um, outside of our parties or group, I think why our group was a little different. So I know in when we would play or in our parties or in our, I don't even know if to call it our lifestyle family. I know between each other we didn't use condoms, and that
No.
was that was fine. Now, of course, yes, do we hate them? Yeah, I'm sure. Is it a necessary evil in some situations? Absolutely. But the thing was that until I established um between two consenting adults that obviously we agreed that we were both okay with that, and assuming, of course, that we're both keeping our sexual health in check, then we would move forward with that. But that wasn't something that I was just willy-nilly just doing with everybody, right? So I wasn't just randomly going to, whatever party, and that night I just decided I am not using condoms. No, no, not at all. I mean, I think for most first, second, even third encounters with a lot of new partners, especially, yes, I was absolutely using condoms. If I'm going to a theme night at a club I've never been to, or wherever, a party, a getaway, a hotel takeover, whatever the case may be, absolutely, I was wearing condoms. But within at least definitely within our group that we had, of course, no, I did not. We got to a point, obviously, that we did not wear condoms, and I was a-okay
Well,
with
I
that.
think if everybody's
Mm.
there and
Yeah,
knows that we're all fucking around, and then
Right.
somebody has an event and says, "Hey, I have chlamydia,"
right.
then we all go, "Oh, fuck." And
Yeah,
you all go out and you get
and
your
you go
antibiotics and you
exactly.
call it a day. I mean, it's just part of the process. But I was trying to think about that question
Hmm.
earlier. And, in all the times I was playing, I mean, playing hard, hard, hard.
Hmm. Hmm.
I've had chlamydia like 4 times in my life, in
Hmm.
my life. And that
Hmm.
was the only STD that I had.
Yeah,
So I guess I had to have a little spot removed because I did talk about that in one of our podcasts.
Right.
Having the gynecologist take a couple spots off down there because I was on camera and didn't want
hmm.
anybody to see it. So, but it's just part of the deal. I mean, if you're gonna take the risk, and it is a risk, but I don't know, it's one of those things again that I've done it
So
a lot. I've taken
for
a lot
those
of
fly,
risks.
for those flies that are on the wall, on a profile, there is the chance on a profile to say we require condoms or
Yes.
we require protection or whatever. But in a party, you don't know the profiles of the people, so it's got to be. It's kind of expected that if you're going to go to a party and you and your partner have made this agreement that you're going to, you require condoms, then you got to bring them with you.
Hmm.
Okay. And you provide them and you do it. Now,
Yep.
I've told the story before and I'll tell it again because it is freaking funny. I am at the lake house. I am up in a room with Big Dick Donnie. We are doing a couple. Okay. This is a new couple that has come into the parties. We'd never met them before and he invited them or something or whatever. And he's got her on the bed and he takes his pants off and she sees the size of his dick and you can see her eyes. She is really scared. Okay. I am going to town already with her husband. We are readily engaged. He has figured out that I have the coconut oil, that I do anal. So he's fucking me in the ass. Okay. So I'm being fucked in the ass. And Big Dick Donnie starts to do her. And she says, "You are not touching me without a condom." And he says, "I don't do condoms. Nothing is going to fit this thing." Okay. And so he says, "I don't do condoms." And she's like, "Well, then it's not going to happen." And I turn to her and I go, "If this is your guys' rule, why is his dick in my ass and there's not a condom on it?" Okay.
Mm.
And oh my God, there the fight ensues and I believe they left the party never to be
Oh,
seen again.
I have a
It happens
couple.
all the time.
Mhm.
yeah.
Happens all
I,
the
I have a
time.
couple things before I answer a question. Beaux, if I remember this right,
Mm.
remind me when you got started where you kept those condoms.
Oh, it was amazing. I know. Okay, so to give a little backstory about that, some women feel obviously that when you are playing that you should not have socks on, right? Some men are concerned about their feet. I was not someone that was necessarily concerned about my feet. That wasn't necessarily an issue. But if it's a one-on-one setting, it's one thing. But in a party setting, socks are very important. And why is that? Because if I would use my socks to pretty much load up my condoms, right? And the reason why that was so effective was that I didn't want any lag time between you telling me, let's fucking go, versus me now having to get off the bed or get off the couch or this whatever to then go through my bag to ruffle, and then you have to do the rip of the rubber, it's like, and then it doesn't rip correctly, and then I'm sitting there, and then I mean, in that time, it could be just one cold breeze, and I'm like half staff, right? And so I didn't want that to be a thing, so so as Roger had stated, I usually would have socks. Sometimes,
thank you for that. That's what I remember. I was like, this dude's running around this whole fucking house in socks.
And you got caught because he had it and you didn't.
So yes, that was the storage place. That was when it was very easy. So that you could never catch me in a moment where I was not ready, should that have been required. And it would come out. It was almost like a 007. It was like, oops.
You were super slick about it. When I saw it, I was like, damn, that makes so much sense now. I don't know why I didn't think that. But I was wanting to say, if Janet, I'm sure Janet already said it, but thank you for contacting us and thank you for those questions. That's two really good questions. And there's a part of this, like if we're at a bar and our drinks come, I'm gonna hold my glass up and scream, condoms and rattlesnakes, two things I don't fuck with. However, that's just to be funny. In a party setting, I do bring condoms. It's my preference not to use them, but if somebody, if that's their preference, then I have them, and I have them for that reason. And I even bring a latex and then a non-latex. So I do that for people I ran into with latex allergy. I'm taking all the excuses off the board. As far as preparation, I used to preach party prep to people, and for me it was if I were to sum it up, it was just this, because I was in the gym a lot, and I would do a light cardio the day before, and then no workout the day of. And that was just so I was recovered properly. I would tell people to carb load the day before the party, and then start taking vitamin C 2 to 3 days out. Just because it being in that close of contact, get a little immune system boost going, and then people would just look at me like. People would look at me like, what are you? I'm like, that's a sporting event. What are you talking about?
It tickles me pink that when somebody asks you, because I know that you've answered this in season 1, same way. You go to, I do my legs or I do my party prep, right? Females, we're not going to that. Okay. Nope. We're talking about, have you douched? Have you cleaned it out? Have you shaved? Have you gotten the hair out of it?
What am I going to wear?
Right.
Do I have
and then what am I going to wear?
Is it accessible? Oh, my hair. Right. Got to be accessible. That's right.
Right. Where's my ponytail holder? Because my whole I have a ponytail holder that's around the wrist. The sign that you're going to get lucky is if I start grabbing that ponytail holder and off and put that up in my hair, we're getting down. Okay. Anybody who knows me, that's it. We're getting the hair out. Al, is there anything that you do to prepare from a female standpoint?
Oh, just pretty much all the same that you all do. Just making sure clean and well shaved and all that good stuff. Bring out one thing that you had suggested was the coconut oil with a little bit of peppermint oil in it.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah.
That just for me, and that came from the doc, and that's a whole nother podcast we'll get to, and I will explain that again. But you will hear the Slickums commercial. We're running Dick Dippers commercials now, but we'll run the Slickums commercials as well.
Can I add something? If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
that I realized because I didn't answer, I think, on the preparation piece. That to Roger's routine, two things that I would do. One of them, well, obviously, I would shave. I would make sure that it wouldn't have to be, you know, completely shaven, but I would make sure that I didn't have like
Gotta be groomed,
especially at the base, because I or at the base of my dick. That especially if a lady, last thing I would want is face to be
Tickle
tickled.
the
But that wasn't
nose.
always the case. But I tried to keep it in check. Um, I would drink a lot of coconut water. Hydration is key. Hydration is very key, specifically coconut water.
I
Overall,
never
me
did that.
personally,
Should have.
the reason why I like coconut water, one, there are a lot of women with cum fetishes, and I am a lover of granting fantasies and meeting fetish, and helping with fetishes. And I myself, I'm a big lover of. I have a cum fetish. I love to, as much as I would love to come inside you, I want to come on you. I want you to see how much you turn me on and how much cum you can get out of me, right? And so, especially a lady who loves a facial, Lord, like, yes, I am going to cover your face. And so, the hydration definitely helped with that. And it also helped with the recovery. So a lot of times what I would do is I would also have coconut water in my bag. So after we play, right, it helped with the hydration. And instead of me having to like take zinc pills or something crazy or whatever the case to kind of get back, that's what I would use to keep hydrated.
You may have missed it, but these three women literally had a hot flash just now.
Right. So this is where we need to be video again, because all of us are grabbing our boobs, our hearts, and we're all like this because, I mean, I know Elle knows.
Twisted a nipple
because I have a cum fetish. I love the taste of cum. Right. And so, and Barbie and I will have a contest. And then my favorite thing would be if you come all over my face to have Elle come in and lick it off. And then I kiss Elle and take it out of her mouth.
Yes.
Oh my
God.
One memory.
When Beauregard was talking about
mic drop,
his cum fetish and giving facials, you could see Elle's face just light up. Because was it 2-3 weeks ago? 2-3 weeks ago, he stopped by. He was passing through town, and her face looked like a glazed donut after they were done.
It was a very nice load.
So jolly. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to make it back, but we've kind of run out of time. So and again, I want to thank Emma for sending that email. For all of you flies out there who want to have other comments, have other questions, or you want to talk on the show, go to beyondmonogamypodcast.com. You've got a chance to email Roger. You got a chance to email me. You got a chance to leave a comment on any of the podcasts that we have up there, the episodes. You can catch up on all the old episodes. Poor Emma, she was only on season 1, so she's got stuff coming when she gets to this one. Thank you, Emma, for reaching out. Any of you all, please tell your friends. And I really hope that Beauregard comes back on. It is so much fun to sit here and tell these stories. And for all of you guys out there, go to the website and tip Mandingo, because Mandingo does this for free. He will edit this thing and get it out there and publish it, and he does this for free. So give Mandingo a little bit of a tip. Yes, he is a voyeur, so he gets to hear our stories, so he's got a hidden thing in it. But I really appreciate everybody coming, and I hope that all the other flies on the wall, you guys come back and come again and come again and come again.
That's it for this episode of Beyond Monogamy. We hope you enjoyed our podcast, and we look forward to having you back again for the next episode of Beyond Monogamy.